What's up guys? Happy Monday. Gemma here and back again for another video. I was going to say something else right there. But today I want to talk about God of War, and I've been streaming it all weekend. And to my surprise, a lot of you guys out there hadn't bought it. So I want to share some of my initial impressions and ask the burning question. Is God of War 4 worth picking up now? The short answer to that is no. I'm joking. Yes, it is. Got a lot to say about this guy, so let's take a look. Got the regular edition. Didn't feel like the kind of, the need to beef out with the limited edition or special edition or anything like that. I just wanted to get the base edition. So that's what we're on. Let's take a look. So if you've never played a God of War game, don't panic. There was somebody in my chat that said that they'd never played a God of War game but was actually really enjoying this. The beauty of this from the onset is that you can literally get right in. You can jump straight in. And it starts by, very, very basic stuff, selecting the difficulty and then diving straight into the story. We're met with Artorias really quickly. For those of you that don't know, where have you been? Artorias is Kratos' son. Now I'm going to try and kind of explain all this without spoilers. Any spoilers that there will be very minimal. It won't ruin anything in terms of the story, but I do want to talk about something later in the video in terms of the mechanics and in terms of how things drip fed to you, because I was completely caught off guard for how well the developers have started to kind of just bring basic elements of the gameplay into the game. Like the pacing is on point, but we'll park that and we'll come back to it. So I think there's no shame in saying the graphics. The graphics look absolutely awesome. I'm playing on a PS4 Pro, but I don't have a 4K monitor yet, and even on just like with your super sampling mode on your PlayStation 4 Pro, the game looks absolutely awesome. And a lot of you good people said that to me on stream. You were very, very impressed. It's so cinematic. So if you're into things like, like Lord of the Rings, and that level of magnitude, God of War is on that level for me. And I kept saying at numerous points in the stream just how cinematic this game felt. Musically, graphically, how the cutscenes flow into gameplay and back again. There's like a seamless transition, and I think that is absolutely freaking fantastic. The emotion is very, very high, and a lot of reviewers have been talking about the relationship between Kratos and his son and how important that is. And I think that is apparent from the onset. Your emotions are high within the first 15 minutes of the game. Something happens in the game, I don't want to spoil it, but something happens in that very, very, very early onset of the game, and you do feel the emotion, you do feel very sad. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to kind of wreck the story for you guys if you haven't played it or you haven't picked it up. But it really does a great job of getting you hooked emotionally. And what that did for me is from then you have to carry on, because you want to know what's going to happen. You need to know, the story just needs to continue to unfold. So they catch you, they bait you using the emotional storyline from the get-go, and I love that. Combat. Before I picked this up, what I did was I watched a lot of previews, I watched a lot of before you buys, I watched a lot of tip videos, and a lot of people were saying that the game is immensely difficult. Now, again, parking that to one side, when you play this, if you're familiar with the Diablo series, if you're familiar with the Souls series, if you're going to be familiar with Lord of the Rings, you're going to feel a little bit of a cocktail of all those games and in this, literally in this. Now, when you say the word Souls games, you imminently think that it's going to be incredibly difficult. It's not. I started on there's 4 difficulties. I didn't want the easiest. I kind of caught the one up from that. It provided with, a more of a balanced gameplay. But I was worried going into it. I said, I'm super nervous. I don't really know what to expect. So I'm just I was freaking out a little bit because, when you're on stream, you want to make sure that things go well and you get some good gameplay in there. So the combat, which like I said, we'll come back to, the combat is very fluid. More often than not, you've kind of got loads of different enemies around you, and you, Kratos, you're in the middle. You do have the option to use your son Arterius to kind of use his bow in combat, and obviously you can level up using your skill tree both characters, like, and it's important that you don't just focus on Kratos and ignore Arterius. You need to kind of like tandemly upgrade their abilities, because they do work together really well in combat. It's not a lot of button mashing. I do find that there is a level of kind of like technique, you know. I think there's a lot to be said about the agility of Kratos. You've got to use your agility really well, and you've got to use your parrying really well. For me, parrying is probably the most essential skill to utilize in battle, because it knocks the enemy for 6, and then that gives you a bit of an opening just to go in and attack, and not only attack with yourself but attack with Arterius as well. So you need to be super careful. It's not all about the swipes that you land, it's the movement, and I just think like that they've built like, it's like, for me that's like a multi-level, multi-layer, like a big combat sandwich with multiple fillings of awesomeness in there. We've got the parry, which is the cheese. We've got the swipes, we've got the axe throw, the Leviathan is your axe, obviously. There's so much in there. We've got Arterius, and it just works so seamlessly. Sometimes I think we can kind of play games with that level of complexity and it can seem a little bit clunky, but God of War, I mean, it just flows. Like, I can't explain it. You have to play it to believe it. Like, literally, it is phenomenal. So is there anything at the minute I don't like about it? No. I think there was like one occasion where there was maybe just sometimes you're kind of like, you'll be in like an area and you'll want to kind of roam off that way, and you'll go so far and you'll just hit the wall. Like, you know, it's not Skyrim. Don't be fooled, you know, the map is pretty big, but it's not like this massive expansive go where you want, do what you want. You can, but you're kind of, there are parameters, so you're playing within this like a bit of a cage, pretty big cage. So just be mindful of that. You know, it's not Skyrim. There is a lineage to this, and speaking of lineage, I've just kind of predominantly stuck to the main campaign so far. I'm not too fussed about doing the additional things, and I know that you can come back to areas, so if you miss anything you can come back. So that for me, I think again it just opens up that choice, being able to come back, to leave it, to move forward, to, you know, but there is lineage within that. But it's balanced and it's awesome, and I'm super hyped to play more. So let's talk about pace. This was something I didn't expect. Cast your mind back to something, I don't know, like, okay, let's talk about Skyrim. When you first start Skyrim, within the first 30 to 45 minutes of Skyrim, you pretty much know what you're in for. You know you've got a compass, you know you've got a map, you know you can't fast travel until you unlock an area. You know your menus, you've pretty much got your menus around, you know, your head. But this, God of War, like, my first 3.5 hours with God of War was on stream, and it wasn't till around the 3-hour mark that something happened. I met an NPC, and after the kind of cutscenes, you all of a sudden got this compass, okay? So you got this compass. Now, usually, something as basic as a compass you get when you start a game, like with Skyrim, it's right there. You know, you can set a waypoint, you can see it on the top, and you go for it. It came 3 hours in, depending on how fast you play the game. For me, it came 3 hours in, and I'm doing it like first impressions of God of War. What planet are you on? Motorbike? For me, I thought that was fantastic, because they don't just kind of put all their eggs in one basket from minute one. You slowly start to get, you know, parts of the mechanics and the gameplay, the combat, the maneuvering. It all comes very, very slowly, and I wasn't expecting that. And I think for me, that's the critical point of the storytelling. Things are drip fed at such a nice pace that you're constantly getting surprises. Like, you're constantly like, wow, you think this area is beautiful? Like, an hour and a half later, you unlock something else, and it's just mind-blowing. That the areas, the pacing is so on point. You feel uber powerful as well, like with your axe and things, you know, it's like a kind of like a boomerang effect, you know, you launch it and then you can kind of call it back. Some enemies are immune to it, so in which case you have to switch to hands-free mode, which is quite simple to do. And then you can just go with punch and kick and, you know, your usual kind of combat stuff. It's just absolutely amazing. At the minute, I can't find anything I don't really like about it. I'm super pumped to get back on, and if you guys go to the stream playlist in the description, you will see probably, I mean I'm filming this Sunday, so I'm actually going to be streaming later, so there's going to be a good 6 hours of God of War if you guys want to go and take a look at some of that. But I've stitched in gameplay throughout this video anyway. So I'm super pumped. Back to that burning question, and in conclusion, is this worth picking up now? Is this worth buying a PlayStation 4 for? Absolutely. If you don't own a PlayStation 4 and you have an opportunity to get a God of War bundle, do it. Don't waste time. Forget about Fortnite. Forget about your PUBG. Forget about everything else right now. You need to play this. This is a massive Game of the Year contender. In fact, I think this is going to win. I'm going to come back to this video. This is going to win Game of the Year. Like, whenever they announce it later down in the year, this is going to win. Let's go for it, guys. Let me know in the comments section below what have been your thoughts. Play this. Are you going to play it? Are you going to buy it? Have you bought a PS4 especially for it? I want to hear from you in the comment section, and don't forget, guys, to hit that sub button, hit that like button. We got more coming this week. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to end it there. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.